look a lot alike.
Maybe we're like parent trapped, you know?
For sure.
This is Maddie. What's up?
Yeah. Hey YouTube.
Hello.
So we just made it back from our dinner and we're getting cozy. We're going to be answering some of the questions that you guys left over on both of our Instagram pages. So for you guys that have submitted questions, thank you so much in advance. We really appreciate you. Hopefully I'm mic'd up and being heard. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and dive into these. Alexa has them written down. So fire.
Okay, so we have a question. This is for Maddie, not for me. Why do you hate dogs? I love dogs, so.
First of all, this was not an anonymous question. We know who you are. They don't give back to you. So here's my logic, okay?
Yes,
No. Here's my flawed logic. I'm not an animal hater.
Maddie's not a kind person.
I love babies. The love that I have for a little baby infant is like that of a normal, healthy, loving girl for a little pooch. The reason why I'm not a dog person though, or an animal person in general, is because as they age, you're putting so much money into them and time into them. You leave for vacation, you have to find a place to put them. You go outside of the house, you can't be gone for you have to be back home to do something with it.
Yeah, I don't leave my dog alone for more than 2 hours.
They stink. You have to bathe them all the time. And no, but at no point do they grow old enough to be self-sufficient or do something for you. And so the whole argument of they provide companionship. I can cuddle with my kid, that also can prepare dinner while I'm out running errands or can take the trash out. Tell me the next time you have a golden retriever that can meal prep for you.
Well, but they're not fuzzy.
You know what? A little baby smells great. Great.
I'm team dog.
Cool. The question wasn't for you.
How to deal with hunger, and what do you tell your clients if they're having a bad moment or struggling with hunger on a particular day during prep? Now, I have one answer that a lot of people aren't going to like, and it's you got to suck it up sometimes. Lean into it, embrace it.
Yeah, it means stuff is working.
Yeah, that's what I reminded myself continuously in prep. If I'm hungry, it means I'm doing something right.
The other thing too that I will say is your stress and your sleep matter so much, way more than you could ever think
in prep.
And I would highly suggest get out of the freaking house. My mom and we would take trips to places to go get tea. We would go make candles. We would go to All Fired Up and make pottery. I would do sidewalk, literally get out of your house. When you sit in the house, even if you're working, go to a coffee shop and get your work done. That way you're not sitting there thinking about
considering
food.
about going to the kitchen. Don't do that. Or something that I did, this isn't really sustainable long term, but we're talking about prep here, so this is different.
Yeah.
If I finished my food for the day and I didn't have anything else to do and I checked off all my boxes for the day and I was starving and I was debating going to the kitchen and ruining my prep,
I would literally just go lay in bed on my phone.
I would go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I went to bed sometimes at 7 or 8 p.m.
Yeah,
Because I was there's honestly no option here. I know that if I stay awake, something bad is going to happen. Let me just go to sleep.
I would just retreat to the bedroom.
Yeah, and you could use the sleep anyways. It's not like it's doing anything bad for you.
Yeah.
So, I want to get labs drawn. Should I or could I do that through you?
You can. We are coming out with a self-directed lab ordering portal on www.empoweredcoachingcollective.com. It will be built out here literally any week, but it's pretty much done.
Yeah. This is what I'm very excited about because you can order.
It's awesome.
You can order single lab work if there's something specific done, or even a test you want, a Dutch test or GI map. Single order that. You don't need to pay for coaching, and you get a written summary and feedback and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
How soon after a show should I do blood work?
Ooh. I usually say 8 to 10 weeks. Yeah. Because your ghrelin and leptin alone do not recover that.
They take a long time to recover.
Yeah.
Not
that that's what we're like looking at, but
no, everything else too. And like, I think anything before 8 to 10 weeks, it's very skewed, you know, like reproductive hormones, like anything like that. It's not going to be at a level that'll be like, you know,
indicative of how healthy you are.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very temporary, objective number or subjective number that's not really, it doesn't really say anything about actually where your body's at.
And your, like, things like your liver and kidney enzymes, those are going to be elevated whether you're on PEDs or not. Like, your protein intake has been high, your body's been under a lot of stress. So, yeah, 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah. How do you select a suit color?
You don't. You meet with Mary from Toxic Angelz. You can use the link below.
It's true.
You listen to your coach. You watch the Olympia or the Arnold. You find out who's winning and what the suits are that everybody is wearing.
Also, suggestion, if you know the show you're doing and there's information on the show, you can utilize what their background is going to be to your advantage. If there's a red background on stage, you do not want to wear a red bikini. Even if it looks best on you, it's going to wash you out and you're not going to stick out as much.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, once I found a suit color, like, I was kind of burnt out on the aqua, like, really early on. And my coaches were like, no, like, the judges know you in this. They like you in this. Like, just get over the fact that, like, lose your attachment to the suit color, honestly. Like, you should like it, but, like, it's not that deep. Yeah. It's not.
Would you get another piercing or tattoo, and what would it say?
Well, we have matching
talking
ones.
about this.
Where is it?
Wait, is this it? We have matching tattoos.
I would get more tattoos, but the thing about tattoos is you want to get your nose pierced, right?
You told me I should. I just want to get more ear piercings because I love I love ear piercings.
I thought you got a second.
No, I never did.
Oh.
I had a bunch.
I bought you those earrings for your second hole.
I know. I used to pierce my ears myself, and they all got infected.
I don't think I'd get any more piercings. I have a lot.
You have a lot.
I have a lot. I would probably get more tats, but I want them to be small, and I also like them to be discreet. Like, if you can see them all, and I'm running out of places for patchwork.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Might have to do your toes. Are you fully animal-based now, and why?
I'm not fully animal-based. I would say 75% of my diet now is animal-based. I was more, like, hardcore with it.
Before,
yeah. And then I think I just realized, like, just like anything else, I feel effing amazing when I do it. Like, eliminating...
I agree. I've geared my diet more towards it, too, and I really like it.
But it's more of, like, an ancestral diet, okay?
Yeah.
It's, like, food that's from the earth. I wouldn't say I'm doing a ton of, like, beans, and I'm also not doing a crap ton of vegetables.
And, like, not just red meat or, like, you
No.
know, like, we're
I'm
not, like,
still
cutting
eating-
board. We're not, like, eating off a cutting board over here, you know?
Yeah,
like,
no, that's not sustainable either. I mean, I don't want to live a life in prep. And, like, I also want to be able to go out and eat things and not have my body, like, get inflamed and, like, puff up like crazy. But there are principles of it, like, doing, like, less, like, there's no artificial sweeteners. I use honey. In my... Like, with my dairy products, I eat a lot of raw dairy. I'm not doing, like, flavored yogurts and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's more just, like, clean.
Yeah,
like,
it's very clean.
All...
You know what else I love about the animal-based diet? I think it gets people over their fears of, like, a lot of fats in foods. Like,
ghee.
People who don't like whole eggs, or people who like opt for, like, a top round or, like, the leanest beef. Like, you can have a little bit of fat. You know?
Yes, you can.
You can have some fat.
You can do it.
You can do it. Oh. Did you and Chris break up?
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah, we did. We did. Sometimes people are not meant to be together.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
How do you navigate a relationship when you're in prep?
You don't? No, I'm kidding. I mean, like, for me, honestly, when I was in prep, I wasn't dating guys.
Yeah, and it's hard too.
It's hard.
It's hard. I think unless you're already in a relationship, it's really tough. Like, you don't have time to go dating. And, like, even
Your face.
And even dating is like what? Going out to restaurants? Like, you can't do that. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you want to go for a walk in the park? You want to hit a lift together? Like, it's not really
Yeah, I mean, if you
possible.
are in a relationship, communicate and make sure that person loves the F out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, very much communicate. That's like what I had to do. I had to communicate my feelings, my mental state. It was a lot of
Let's talk about feelings.
It was a lot of reassurance on my part.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was the hardest part about getting your boobs done?
The time off. But honestly, I wouldn't have changed it for the world. Like when I
Didn't you
healed
say
my
that was
relationship,
like a very
yeah,
crazy time for you?
it was. Like honestly, that was when
Like
I was
healing.
like, oh my gosh, a long walk can be a workout for me. And like really accepted that as such. And my body, like I said, it didn't change a tremendous amount when I first got them done, but I was just like that's when I really stepped into my femininity. My mom even noticed it because I didn't tell her about my boob job and she did not approve of it for sure. And then when, we talked about it a lot, my mom was like, I think that's when you really stepped into like your feminine energy.
Yeah.
And I was like, absolutely, because bodybuilding isn't really that.
Yeah. Okay. What's your opinion on fit model division?
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
I love it because it's creating a more realistic standard for girls. So there's not this extreme weight fluctuation, body
pressures
composition.
to get on PEDs, pressures to go really hard on a diet that's totally unsustainable, especially because a lot of the competitors now are masters competitors. They're older women, and it is not realistic to give a mom a sort of harsh pro-level bikini prep routine.
I'm sure she wouldn't mind me sharing this, but one of our athletes, Jolie Price, I've prepped her for other shows. She's done really well and probably could have gone pro in the NPC in the bikini division. She's a mom, and her husband said, there's no way. There's no way you're doing this again.
It's
and
really hard.
We're prepping her on, I think, like 1,600 calories. She's stage ready 3 weeks early, 4 weeks early. She was ready like 6 weeks early, honestly. She's 9 weeks out from her other show. And she's loved every minute of her prep. And I think that's
it's because the prep for fit model very much feels like it's not a prep.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been in one before.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very much an
I don't
entry
want to say
level-
it doesn't feel like it's not a prep.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's much easier on your body, on your mental state. I think it's much easier to also get out on the other side.
It's easier to get out on the other side for sure. And I think it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, and I just think having a new entry level division is going to attract a lot of people to the sport and like prevent these negative connotations, especially with women who are like, oh my gosh, you're so manly. And like, even though like that stuff doesn't really bother, I mean, people like us, but it's nice to have this division that promotes like very much health. It's more like a bikini beach body. It's very maintainable. It's very attainable. And yeah, I really like it.
I do too.
When you say MPowered is going through a rebrand, what do you mean when you say that? You should answer this one.
Hi, my name is Maddie, and I'm MPowered Fitness Coaches Collective head assistant. No,
CEO.
I'm the CEO of Team MPowered. No, so we're going through a rebrand, and are going through a little bit of a rebrand. Team MPowered is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and it always will be. But I just want to create a space that is able to, I guess you could say, more meticulously tailor like different programs to the people that I was finding were coming in through our pipeline and that were attracted to our community.
And what kind of people would that be? Like functional?
Very functional. I mean, there definitely wasn't, for the longest time, like all the space for functional lab testing and women that were, I was having women that really could use my knowledge and I wanted to help. But they were saying things like, but I'm not a competitor. And I don't want someone to even see our brand
As
and
just
think that.
Yeah.
And think that. There is space for, I mean, I would say now about 65 to 70% of the work that I do is functional.
Yeah.
And we still have a prep team, and we still have plenty of athletes that
in
do
all
prep.
directions.
But yeah, rebranding and to just be more inclusive of, athletes that might not want to prep, or athletes that, even just women who have functional health concerns.
Are you and Alexa sisters? We actually
Yes.
got this in Maddie's elevator. Someone asked us this.
People even ask us this on Instagram all the time. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. That's the answer.
No, we're not. I wish we were. We act like
we're
it.
almost sisters.
Yeah.
I would say.
We look a lot alike.
Maybe we're like parent trapped, you know?
For sure.
Ooh, okay. Do you drink in your off season and how?
We're drinking tomorrow. I do. I am calculated about it. I mean, I'm
This
not
is
gonna.
a very touchy topic.
I'm literally not gonna sugarcoat this one bit. Like Alexa and I have already discussed what tomorrow's gonna look like. We gotta
be
cutting
raw
out.
and real.
We're cutting out 2 of our 4.5 meals.
Yeah.
We are when we do eat, they're gonna be like bolus
Small.
and balanced. Well,
Smaller.
yeah, but it's not gonna be like. I don't want people to think that we're eating fruit.
Right. No.
Like we're having a
eating
breakfast.
meals.
We're going to this place called Naked Farmer. We're getting like sweet potato bowls with red meat and plenty of veggies and healthy fats. But we also recognize that if we're going to have cocktails, like tomorrow's going to be a crazier. I mean, Alexa's been here for what, 4 days, 3 days? And we're going out once.
Yeah.
And this is a special occasion. I'm very choosy about when I go out. I do go out very often with girlfriends and I do not drink at all.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have 3 drinks.
Yeah. And I think the drinking thing is big because a lot of people think they either have to starve themselves or they'll eat all their food, realize they want to drink, and they're like, have that fuck it mentality, like almost with like a binge, you know?
Yeah.
How they just like go off the walls. And I think if you just plan accordingly and say, hey, okay, I'm going to go out tomorrow. The likelihood of me drinking is pretty high. Let me allocate some calories for this. That way I won't spiral and I won't feel upset with myself after
We'll
the
have
fact.
a creamy at home.
Yeah.
We're actually doing Pilates early in the morning, no strength training tomorrow. And on Saturday, we're not training at all.
Yeah.
So being smart too about when you train.
Yeah. What's the hardest part about living with someone who doesn't bodybuild? Well, we both had this experience.
Yeah, I think it's I have a funny quick story, but like I remember the first time that we track all of our food. And so when you track your food, you eat every damn bite. And I remember the first time that I saw Chris had made red Argentinian shrimp and he didn't eat the last 2. And I like looked at him like, you're not gonna,
You crazy.
you're gonna throw those out. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's the hardest part is like them seeing like you think you're very calculated about meals. Like I'm eating this for this purpose. Not just in terms of like macros and counting calories, but like here's the reason behind me choosing sourdough versus that, honey versus that. Like, and then
it's
them
very meticulous.
yeah,
they
and
just
having
can't
to like
comprehend that.
justify that.
Yeah.
And then also understand that they may just choose something when there's no health benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think something that I can say about the hardest thing about living with someone who doesn't bodybuild. So my boyfriend doesn't compete, but he does track food. He does work out like very religiously. But I think what's difficult was him understanding that like these weekly changes and drops in food and stuff and upping cardio, I think he didn't really understand the point, or I think there was a lot of concerns about where my mental health would go, and I think he was concerned about that. So I think reaffirming that like I'm okay, like I'm choosing this is something that kind of helped, because I could see like the people around me, and especially living with my boyfriend, it's hard when he's seeing that changes, and like as I'm getting more fatigued and tired, he's like, is she okay mentally? And I think that was hard. And also if he like decided to go get Popeyes and I have to eat chicken and rice, but it's okay. Again, I choose it. What's been the most difficult change you've made?
I think the hardest thing for me, at least like in, not just in bodybuilding, but it's like that period of time where you're just enough above like your stage weight and you're in your off season where you're like, this is where I'm going to stop. And if you have that feeling, like when you have that feeling where you're like, I'm stopping here, this is where the scale is going to stop, just know you're not stopping there.
It's not going to happen.
You're not. Like that's where you're trying to control the stop. But just so, like, when you have that feeling, just know it's going to get higher.
Yeah.
And, like,
I remember I told you, like, there was a number specifically. It was 135.
yeah, you were like, I feel good here.
And I was like, I want to stay here. Like, 135 is a good spot for me. But that didn't, like,
I was like,
that wouldn't have necessitated any more growth.
Yeah.
And now I'm, like, pushing past 140, and I've just realized, like, okay, I'm fine. And I actually look almost the same.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
I think setting that number is, like, really, really
And
hard.
I think getting over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
That hump.
Yeah. What has been the hardest part of this journey?
Why don't you answer that?
Well, I think I have two answers.
Okay, pick one.
Well, that apply to different, like, seasons. Like,
Okay.
the hardest part of bodybuilding and then the hardest part of, like, adjusting to, like, this lifestyle balance. Hardest part of bodybuilding, I think, was building that grit mindset and also managing my time, because I think that's something that I built really well in prep, was becoming more routine. You know, like, you have a lot of things, and in prep, bodybuilding becomes your main focus. Like, that's what it is. You spend hours a day working towards it. It's actually every hour of the day. Every waking hour, even sleeping hour, is, like, geared towards your show.
For sure.
So I think learning how to manage my time was something that in the past has, like, just, like, I've been a person that likes to procrastinate, and I think that was a major adjustment that I made in prep. Now, the hardest part about this life season or building season, honestly, has been seeing my body change. And not that it's a bad thing, but it's just tough to deal with. I think mentally it can throw you in a lot of different directions, and it's sometimes hard to manage. But, like, again, this just goes back to the perspective, and, like, I'm noticing, okay, well, I am getting stronger. I do like how I look. My butt's getting bigger, you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm putting on muscle. There's a lot more benefits to it, but it's definitely hard to deal with.
Okay.
Maddie's big chilling right now. Advice on body positivity. I feel like this is a really, like, there's a lot of depth to this question.
I'm going to give, like, my top thing.
Yeah.
I have one.
Go.
Honestly, this sounds so freaking stupid, but, like, I want you to first think about the converse, right? Like, if you are a young kid and you grow up and you hear every single day, like, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. You wake up, or, like, you know, you become an adult, and, like, you are the most self-conscious person despite maybe not having any bit of body fat on you, right?
Yeah.
So think about the importance of, and I talked about this on the podcast that was released last week with Greg. It's like, what you tell yourself, it really freaking matters.
Yeah.
And I can say, like, I didn't always, like, believe really that I loved my body.
Yeah.
Until I started, like, saying it. And when you
it's
say
a mindset thing. It's like the affirmations help switch that perspective.
Well, and, like, I was chatting with a girl on Instagram today, and she was like, you know, I'm, like, struggling, like, going into summer, being in a build because all these girls are, like, super skinny and they're cutting for summer. And I'm like, but who doesn't want, like, a plump booty in a bikini?
Yeah.
She's like, that's what I'm saying. It's what you focus on.
Mm-hmm. It's how you see it, like, your perspective on it completely.
Like, I have a tummy now that the seatbelt, like, it kind of goes over my seatbelt a little bit sometimes. And, like,
we have fupas, but we also have big butts right now.
Right. So I'm like, I don't care. Look at my shoulders. My shoulders have a pump right now, and, like, I'm not even, like.
Yeah. No. And I think it's not like there's not, like, an easy answer that's, like, one size fits all. Like, okay, take this and, like, it'll apply. But I think it's really just about, like, changing your mindset and how you view yourself, because if you continuously see yourself in, like, a negative light and, like, just put yourself down when you look in the mirror every morning, you're obviously going to see yourself in that way. Like, what you don't like is what's going to be highlighted. But, like, if you look at what you like of yourself, or what you can focus on, or something that brings you happiness from yourself, even if it's internal, will reflect and change your perspective on that. Okay. This is for Maddie again. When did you decide to get implants, and is it because your physique has grown?
No, actually, I always wanted implants, even when I was competing. I didn't feel like it was going to change my, like, placing. In fact, obviously, I turned pro without them.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, didn't even gain that much weight when I first got them. It was like after the fact, like once I was really settled into like a life season. I mean, yeah, no, there is no reason. I've always wanted them. I just wanted it to be like, honestly, after I had turned pro, because I knew at that point I didn't have to rush back into a prep.
Yeah, and I feel like implants shouldn't fill like some sort of void or like missing thing on your physique. You know?
Yeah,
like I think that's not. Are you going back brunette?
Okay, so this is a funny story. I teased this on my channel, like on previous videos. I used to be a brunette like long time ago, and I was at the hair salon getting ready to make the jump, take the leap, and they put a wig on me. My hairstylist was like, I'm telling you, you're not gonna like it. She put a wig on me, and
no good.
The people spoke, needless to say. My mom came in there and gave me her honest truth.
I mean, conversely, this doesn't apply to me, but I'm gonna go back darker, I think.
But you're darker. She said darker the other day. She showed me her hair. It's like still blonde. It's still blonde.
What's your opinion on PEDs for non-competitors? Is there a time and a place for it?
No.
Non-competitors, PEDs should absolutely not be touched.
No, and I mean, honestly, my take even for competitors is like, until you have tapped out your genetic potential, there's no need for that. If you ask anybody who's taken them, hair falling out, irregular cycles, like there's always an opportunity cost for every single decision.
I was gonna say the risks don't outweigh, like it's not worth it. If you could redo your bodybuilding journey all over, would you, and what would you do differently? That's a good question.
You know, honestly, if you would have asked me this like a year ago, I probably would say I would have started with different coaches. But to be honest, I was so confident by the time that I was with the right coaches.
Because of your experience.
Because I had so much experience on stage. And the actual opportunity to get that first meant so much more. Because I had like...
working your ass off.
And I had like kissed it. Like kissed the metal.
So many times.
So many times.
Yeah. For me, no. I don't think I would redo anything or do anything differently. Just because I feel like...
You've been with me.
I've been with her. So, number one, that's why. And I went into it with a lot of preparation. You know, we did like a year of working with like food relationships, getting my body to a good composition before we did any prep. So, it wasn't like anything unhealthy. And I actually really enjoyed my prep. I mean, we were literally talking about it, how like my prep protocols, they were... great.
1,300 calories.
I had a lovely time. I was like, my first show, the maximum cardio was like 45 minutes. Like, it was great. It was a good time, so I would not do anything differently.
All right, thank you guys for joining our little Q&A. I don't know.
I feel like we should do this more.
I feel like we should do this. This was fun.
We should do this on the podcast. Like, integrate like Q&As. Like,
do you guys want this on the podcast?
Should we do a monthly Q&A?
Let us know in the comments below. I don't know where the rest of this YouTube video is going to lead, but maybe it'll be a two-parter because we're like filming.
We've got a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Thank you so much for all your questions. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you.
Well, YouTube, thank you so much for tuning into this week's special video with Alexa. I don't have any more content with her for right now for the time being, but she will be back here soon. It was so fun filming this like fun, spontaneous little Q&A and answering all of your questions. If this was a fun video for you and you liked it, be sure to hit that thumbs up down below and to subscribe to the channel so you're notified. Well, you have to hit the notification bell, but so you're notified every other week when we come out with videos. In between our YouTube videos, I have a podcast, The Psyche Behind the Physique, which is over on both Spotify and Apple. Our latest episode was with Celeste Reigns-Turk from Confessions of a Bikini Pro, so be sure to go ahead and check that out. Also, head over to my Instagram page so you guys can tell me exactly what content you want to see next. We are launching an 8-week spring cleaning program right now. We have 3 spots remaining, and the 8-week program is really geared towards sustainable habits to help you enter into the summer season, not even bikini season, but summer season feeling your absolute best. So what this means is an intuitive eating guide and specific guidelines around intuitive eating. We're also providing macros, yes, but I really want to focus on intuitive eating because this is what we can sustain, especially when we're traveling right now. 4 different workout splits. So 4 weeks in, you get an all new workout split. Everything is done for you, even including warm-ups and cool downs. Practices, sustainable practices. We are layering these practices in every single week and providing you with a habit tracker so that you can track your progress over the course of 8 weeks. And at the end of those 8 weeks, the winner gets 3 months of free one-on-one coaching. So it's $250 for the full 8-week program. I will include the link to apply down below. And we are starting May the 1st. So make sure you reserve your spot. Also, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, whether that's for contest prep, blood work, functional coaching, lifestyle coaching, the link is always down below to apply. Be sure to be kind to one another and not to leave yourself out of the mix. And I'll see you guys in just 2 weeks.